Welcome back, Tribe. Got an episode here. If you haven't been following, farmers in America, especially the soybean kind, are struggling big time. Let's get into it.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Farmers are making a cry for help before it's too late. Countless farmers gathered to speak to representatives of Arkansas leaders to share the urgency that something needs to be done about the current state of farming. Jake Tester was at the meeting and now joins us in the studio with more. Jake.
Many farmers spoke up at the meeting, and the message was straightforward. They need help, and they need it now.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit close.
Farmers in crisis align way out the door of the Woods Chapel Baptist Church in Brooklyn as hundreds of farmers from not only Northeast Arkansas, but
They didn't get what they voted for. Being a farmer is not easy, and the tariffs are making it easier for them.
from across the state came to voice their concerns about the current state of farming. Representatives from U.S. Congressman Rick Crawford, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, and U.S. Senator John Boozman's offices were in attendance to hear those concerns. Among those farmers in attendance was a farmer in Woodruff County, Chris King. He told me this was his 39th harvest, and he has never seen it as bad as this.
And I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
For King, the main problem starts with the fact that they can't sell for profit.
I just would like to see somebody help us get our markets back. We need our exports, and we just need to be paid for what we do. And that's not happening, and we're in real trouble.
But that is not the only issue. King's wife, Melissa King, and farmer in Biggers, Arkansas, Scott Brown, said they are struggling to afford the cost that is needed just to take care of the farm.
The prices that we're getting now are prices like they were when we were children, and what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now. I mean, the price of a combine when we were kids was, in the 20,000s, and now it's 100,000.
I farm 800 acres by myself.
That's crazy.
I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work.
That's crazy. Can you imagine being a farmer and watching your entire livelihood evaporate in front of you, not just because of tariffs, but because America has been slowly sold out from under your feet? This should be designated as a national security threat. The fact that we don't have control over our own food supply, that we depend on international markets, or they're cannibalizing our own so much. Isn't that insane? That keeping America healthy, homegrown, good, high-quality food is not at the top of anybody's priority list. How much land have we sold to China? How much land does Bill Gates have? How much land have we taken from farmers? How many farmers have gotten sued because of some Monsanto crop? The wind blew their seeds onto somebody's farm and they had to burn literally everything because of, the copyrights on seeds, IP rights on a fucking seed that destroy a natural farmer's entire stock. That's crazy, dude. This industry is absolutely fucking disgusting. I'm talking about everybody around it, not the born and bred farmer.
How's the guys farming 5 and 10,000 with 20 hands and $1 million combines and $1 million drills going to make it work?
But for Brown, there is something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing, the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
So, how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke. Nobody wants to lose everything. Long term, we have to have options, markets, and places to sell our product.
Now those representatives in attendance will be taking these concerns they heard to Washington, D.C. to share with the government leaders so they can try and find a way to solve this problem before it's too late. Reporting in the studio, Jake Tester, K8 News.
Jake, thank you. Northeast Arkansas representatives of Senator Boozman, Tom Cotton, and Representative Crawford released the following statement saying in part, quote, "These reforms and investments."
Bullshit speak. Translation, they will do nothing. The farmers are going to suffer. All for political brownie points. Comment section is everybody just dogging on the farmers. Of course, it's leftist. It says, turns out farmers do like socialism. Wear the pre-election MAGA hats. Turns out racism is pretty expensive. So this is typical leftist nut job speak, of course. Put your red hats back on and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. So obviously these people cheered on the death of Charlie Kirk. They're not going to care about some farmers or where their food comes from. They will gladly accept the soy slop bug sandwich, Bill Gates fake meat, all that shit. They love it. They love the fake. I can't believe it's not butter. Carbon slop made in a lab. They will gladly eat those. I cannot believe it's not meat burgers that nobody wants to buy anymore because it turns out 1,000 ingredients just to have one beef as a comparison isn't actually healthy for you. A lot of chemical slop for virtue signaling. Somebody gets it right. Dude, they want you to lose your farm. They don't care about you. They want their friends to buy up your land. I don't know why you guys keep voting against your best interest. Actually, both sides suck. So the ending here of voting against your best interest doesn't make any sense because both of them were against their best interest. So this government will never let a, tragedy go by without capitalizing on it. That's what they're known for. This is what they've done. They also manufacture crises to profit from them. Left or right, they don't care about you. Never forget that. And for those wondering, as far as soybeans go specifically, China was buying 25% or more of our total soybean exports, close to $13 billion worth of them. And this year, they've ordered zero. I mean, zero. They shifted consumption to Brazil. They're not coming back, period. They're not coming back. And this is part of the trade war we have going on with China. And it doesn't only hit the soybean farmers. There's a broader supply chain here that gets affected, right? The warehouse workers that store it all, rail yard crews and the train crews that have to move everything, the longshoremen on the docks, any local businesses that depends on the agricultural exports, all of that, the entire industry vertically down is going to come crashing down. So, well, what more can you say? This is like the economic masterstroke. And the tariff war is only going to heat up with China, or maybe not. Maybe they do come to a deal. Maybe they're tired, but it just seems like both leaders are using this as political brownie points, especially Trump. And it is hurting certain industries, homegrown ones at that, including we've lost our aluminum industry too. A plant here to create an iPhone, forcing all these tech companies to open up offices that probably won't exist in a couple of years with the advent of AI. I mean, automation is going to get rid of most of the jobs they're really bringing back. They're only building the factories in America. Like, people don't understand this because bots will do most of the work. Like, they're going to have automated robots that are going to assemble iPhones. They will not need the cheap Chinese workers anymore. Trump just accelerated that. It all seems cool. It's wrapped up in a bow and everybody's happy. Like, oh my God, dude. Trump is bringing back trillions of dollars in like big tech and all these other companies that are going to manufacture made in America. Yeah, made by a robot in America. Like, that's where we're headed. You think there's going to be tens of thousands of worker jobs? There's going to be bots on the production line with pinpoint precision that they're training today. That little subscription you're paying for Google Gemini or ChatGPT, all that stuff, that will be used to train models with robotic, hands and fingers and all that other shit with good dexterity that'll be on the assembly line, soldering shit and putting together components with perfect precision of a machine. People have no idea. They're going to have dark factories. That's what they're called. They run with no lights. The assembly line is nonstop, 24/7. Production never sleeps because the bots run it non-stop. You'll have engineers that go make sure the machines are working, but the people on the lines, that's done. So be very careful when you think you've won and you tip your MAGA hat, or, you're like, yeah, over, this company like Apple, I think worth quote as $600 billion investment. Just know that is going to be a very top-heavy investment. You will have your iPhones in America made eventually, and Macs and all that shit, but they will not be made by Americans that will be earning a wage. Okay. It'll actually be cheaper for them because the tariffs to bring them back. Just build the factory out here and have bots do all the work. So they keep everything in-house. Now you don't have to ship product from China anymore. Actually, it's cheaper for you overall. Trump just sped that along, and he spun it, for lack of a better word, as a win for himself. But people can't read the tea leaves and they can't see forest from the trees. You know, they think like, yeah, look at all these companies coming back, as if these companies aren't forward thinking long term and have a plan for cutting costs no matter where they are. Oh well. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. See you on the next one. Take care, everybody.